Northern District of Indiana and is responsible for all federal criminal prosecutions and civil lawsuits involving the United States. Please help me welcome Mr. Cap.
Good evening, Eid Mubarak. Thank you for your kind invitation to speak tonight. This is a great honor for me and for the United States Attorney's Office to be able to participate in such an important event. I've had the opportunity over the past several years as United States Attorney to meet with different Muslim groups throughout northern Indiana. In fact, just last night, I spoke at the Eid dinner at Purdue University, sponsored by the Muslim Students Association. This is a very important and very rewarding part of my job as the United States Attorney. And one of the things that people talk to me about is sometimes a sense of uneasiness with their government, a feeling at times that their fellow citizens, including those of us in law enforcement, may view them as less than full citizens. I had a student at Purdue described to me what she called the, quote, death stare that she sometimes receives when she goes out to shop. And things like this are completely unacceptable in our country. And that is not the America any of us want. And we in law enforcement have the duty to treat everyone fairly and to treat everyone equally. And I can honestly tell you that that is what the people I work with strive to do every day. And we also have the duty to enforce the laws of the United States, especially our civil rights laws. And one of the founding principles of this country is, of course, our important freedom of religion. And the Justice Department has been vigorous in its efforts to protect this important freedom. There have been many, many prosecutions around the country of people who damage, destroy, or desecrate places of worship. Those investigations and those prosecutions are one of our highest priorities. And the Justice Department has been equally vigorous in our civil courts as well, not just our criminal courts. For example, we have successfully challenged zoning regulations or local procedures that tried to treat a request to build a mosque differently. That is not right. We went to court to challenge and make it right. We've also gone to court to allow a sixth grader to wear a hijab. And we will continue in these important efforts. And if there are any issues like that in your community, I urge you to contact us, and I assure you we will do all we can to help you and make things right. I wish I had a law enforcement solution for all of this, but I don't. And I think all of us realize that law enforcement is just a small part of the solution, and that broader changes ultimately need to occur. And sometimes broad changes occur slowly, but they do occur. And one way to affect a broader change, I think, is to deal with our young people. And I read with great interest the objectives of the Universal Education Foundation, the host of tonight's dinner. And the objectives that struck me are to teach children virtues such as patience, respect, compassion, and responsibility. In my job, I see way too many young people being prosecuted in the federal courts who are in very serious trouble because they made some very bad decisions. And in many, many of those instances, I really feel had they learned some of those virtues, I doubt they would be in my office. I know at times some of your young people are probably subjected to cruel insults or worse at work. I cannot imagine what it's like for a parent or a grandparent to have to comfort a fifth grader who's been taunted for how he or she looks, what he or she wears, or what he or she believes. It takes courage and perseverance to keep going, and I applaud your efforts. Patience, respect, compassion, and responsibility. That is the America we want. And all citizens need to embrace those concepts for ourselves and work as you are to instill those virtues in the next generation. I thank you very much for your time, and I thank you again for listening.
Now, Mr. Cap, I'm sure as dealing with the Muslims, you're familiar with the Muslim generosity.
Yeah, very
So,
much.
so we have a gift for you and for your staff, which is actually from Universal Production Foundation. We have 4 DVDs